What is up, everybody? It is your boy Triple G93 here, giving you another commentary match of a 3 versus 3 game of Halo Wars 2. So, if I scheduled everything correctly, you have probably seen my first 1v1 that I have uploaded on here. Let me tell you, I tried recording the first one, got destroyed. When I mean destroyed, the audio file just didn't work. Second time around, I got destroyed, and the third one, I got destroyed as well, and that's the one that's been uploaded. 1v1s are so much harder than 3v3s. Let me tell you, it's just a lot more movement you got to do, a lot more micromanagement and macro, and it's a lot of fun, but your boy has ladder anxiety. It's a mental thing, right? So I'm trying to get my brain into the right mental state. I'm trying to have my mind, body, and soul all as one, okay? So it's gonna take some time, but I will be doing some 1v1 commentations as well. Don't know if I'm still gonna do just one a week, just based off my schedule. But if I want to do more than one, maybe I'll just mix in a 1v1 in there as well and ask for advice, because I'm only a plat in here, and in 3s I'm in Onyx, and 2s I'm practically in Onyx. I'm like 2 games away, but I just don't play 2s because also ladder anxiety. The less people there are, the more anxiety I get. So anyways, I have a Yap Yap on my side on left lane. Mid is Colony, and right side is a Jerome, if I'm not mistaken. Probably Jerome. So I'm playing as Decimus. I have a teammate that's also playing as Decimus, I think. I forgot who my teammates are. I'm sorry. Look, I started off talking about 1v1s and my mindset's just already shaken up. So, small steps. Got my grunt here trying to stop him from getting the high ground, but he's going to go ahead and get it. It's fine. I'm going to go ahead and get leader out. The main reason why I decided to go with leader in this situation is because I feel like it would be good against Yap Yap in general with the Y move. And if Colony shows up, I can bring him in and Y move as well. So that's my idea behind just going armory on the mini base and getting the economy up appropriately. And you have his little cannon fodders already showing up right away. So trying to deal with that appropriately, he starts heading to my base, and it's like ends up heading back. So I'm going with choppers as well. So my thought process here is not really focus on grunts. Chopper's going to give me the extra movement that I'm looking for. I get extra rams as well, and so that's my plan in regards to my early game build in general. So I know Yap Yap's stronger in early game, so I just got to make sure I make right engagements and try to be as efficient as possible against these cannon fodders. So more reinforcements end up coming in by light blue, and I'm continuing my production and getting my hero out. So we'll see how successful this goes in the early game for me, and see if I can put myself in a good situation going into mid game. So for the thought process in general when going against a Yap Yap, right, you don't want to put yourself too far, because right, his little minions can really like surround you, and that's kind of frustrating. So trying to stay in an area where I'm not in a bad spot would really work out. And so Yap Yap's first little actual unit starts showing up, so he's trying to trap this chopper. I'm getting the chopper out and trying to bring him around, and my hero is also doing great work on that side as well, just killing as much as he can. I'm holding on to the vortex for as much as possible, but I don't know how long I'll be able to hold this position, because there's a lot. So finally get that vortex point, and I'm going to go ahead and use it all on the cannon fodder. Now, I don't necessarily think this was a good move. I still had a lot of shields left, and my choppers were at full health, so I go in with some rams, which that works out, but now my leader's having problems here, so I Y move to start killing everything out. I start retreating a little bit. Looking at the main map, we still have light green and blue doing pretty well, but they can't really, they're getting like an expansion up and all that stuff, and I'm really just focused on my Yap Yap battle, just because of the fact that this is going to keep on happening whether I like it or not. So the shield's finally getting decreased, but I do have a good amount of choppers to go ahead and to continue the pressure, and I'm finally going to Tech 2. So my plan here is, because I'm going against Yap Yap, Yap Yap likes to get a lot of infantry, and unfortunately I lost a chopper there to mine. I want to try and go elite rangers, so I want to try and grab the second base with this lead that I have, and then get a raid camp up to go ahead and try and, gain an advantageous position on my side. But there was a mine that I thought that was there, and I realized it's not there anymore. It got blown up. I forgot when that happened. So anyways, yes, the raid camp ends up going up. I'm going to go with Elite Rangers, and hopefully I'm going to be able to do something with Elite Rangers in general. And looking at the map, I see blue coming in from the top, so I have to start retreating, and then there goes Yap Yap coming in from the side. And so all of Red's units are going to end up getting blown up, and actually it just doesn't, so that kind of works out. My chopper is still doing some work, but those mines ended up getting blown up, and I wish it didn't. It would have been great if it was used against the Yap Yap, but we're still trying to get some damage in. I'm trying to squeeze in a Y move, and my guy is just being big dummy, but he finally gets the Y move off. And Vortis, that's who my teammate is for yellow. He is Vortis, and Goo goes down. So starting my Elite Ranger production, I'm not grabbing a second base, which is unfortunate because Light Blue has 2 bases. I'm only on 1 base, but I still feel like I can do a relatively good job holding off Light Blue. And so even though my leader's shield's starting to go away, I still think I'm in a good position nevertheless. But Elite Ranger starts showing up, so I want to go ahead and Cleansing Beam that. This is not a bad value Cleansing Beam. But then the colony shows up, and then this is where I start to panic because it's a level 1 leader. And I think I could have easily pulled in. I could have pulled in the colony Y move and then get myself out of there. Like the Y move just finished. So I was stuck in a weird spot. And I'm trying to retreat with my leader to keep him alive, but it's not looking too good for him. So continuing chopper production, continuing Elite Ranger production, but I pretty much lost my left side of the lane entirely. It's not looking good. I'm trying to save my hero as well. We'll see if I end up saving it, but it looks like blue's starting to get themselves in a position to go ahead and cut off my hero. So I don't think I'm going to be able to save him. So left lane full collapse. It's got 2v1. Red is still getting something up and going. And so all I can do for now is just try and stall it to the best of my ability. So there you go. My hero's going to end up dying. There's just too much there. I couldn't avoid it. And now I'm on 1 base. I'm behind. Light blue has 2 bases. Dark blue has 2 bases. And green also has 2 bases, so things aren't looking really too hot for us. I did see an opportunity to go ahead and vortex the leader for Jerome, so then that way Vortis can go ahead and get more building damage done to go ahead and get those extra supplies. And so we end up going in with this Y move. He gets focused down, but there's not much he can do about it. And he's going to end up dying because of that. So it really works out. That's going to help his lane just a little bit. But I'm still incredibly behind. I'm going to go ahead and get extra air upgrade just because, right? I'm already super behind. Get the sensor tower. I have the hero, Red's hero with me, as well as Kodiak that he's starting to set up as well to help protect me. So my plan is simple. When you fall behind in 3s, or when you fall behind in general, you don't want to keep trying to streamline reinforcements and engage in a fight that you're just always going to be outnumbered in, especially since it's Yap Yap. So I saw his army has a lot of engineers. I don't have anti-air to deal with that, so I'm trying to figure out what I can do. I'm floating a lot of supplies right now, so I'm going to go with the infantry upgrade and I'm going to start making some air. I am Decimus, so I do feel like air in the long run will end up helping me out, but I still want to have some sort of other comp to help fight this situation. And so Yap Yap's trying to get rid of the remaining of this cannon fodder to free up additional supply. He sees that I have a bunch of Elite Rangers now, which, you know, it's fine. And so got 3 sensor towers up. I'm able to see exactly what Light Blue has. Lots of Elite Rangers, lots of grunts, and now I'm starting my move belt. So I'm taking it nice and slow. I have this vision. I want to just go ahead and poke the Elite Rangers. It's not like they'll be able to do building damage anyway. So I'm going to hold this choke point to the best of my ability. Still pushing it, pulling out as much machines as possible, because I do think they would help me out with the base damage and just make engagements against engineers and so forth. So infantry level 1 has been upgraded. Cleansing beam is almost done, so I'm going to go ahead and just start retreating right away. I know he has more, so this is not an engagement I want to take. And so now light blue decides to go ahead and engage my teammate over here's expansion, and because of that I get a lovely cleansing beam. This cleansing beam is going to go ahead and take out practically all the engineers. Scratch that, I got rid of all the engineers. And because I got rid of all the engineers, that's really going to hurt him. I have air, I have elite rangers, and I pretty much reset light blue entirely because of that. And so now I have a little bit of air to fight his Banshees, and we pretty much have a very good hold over here. So I'm going to go ahead and start clearing out this space. This was the first big victory. When you're behind, you're going to have to win numerous battles. So Blisterback is already being established on this left side just so he can go ahead and get the second base up and ready. Excuse me for that yawn. And still continuing Banshee production. I think I have a good enough elite rangers, and now my next step is to go ahead and try and get myself a base. So I have 71 out of 80 pop, but I purposely just dropped it down to 68. The reason being is because my next leader point I could get Desi drop if I choose to, or get Boundless Siphon. So using my Banshee to go ahead and scout, see what's going on, to see if I can apply any sort of pressure. And I see that he's going Foundry. So remember, we did see Banshees earlier, but it looks like he's abandoned that air game and has decided to go ahead and stick with a Foundry to get Reavers and deal with that situation. But we did see a Shroud, so he is committing a little bit with air, but the air looks like it's going to be support more than anything. So I start pumping out Hunters to help deal with this, and now I'm at that 80 pop, but I did it because I'm not really in an engagement right now, so I felt like it was okay to do so. Meanwhile, blue has this very big push that's happening right now, but a great vortex by me. We have siege, we have blisterbacks, all this stuff actually ends up melting really well, and that just helps this lane hold a lot better. So I did end up losing one Banshee because of the Reavers. I'm trying to send their air over here to back up my teammates, but then light blue starts attacking my second base. So my elite rangers are going to do fine, but I'm still going to have a problem with the remaining air that he has and the Reavers. So still trying to send in reinforcements. Cleansing beam is going down, trying to split to the best of my ability, and it looks like the split was relatively well. My reinforcements with the air and everything else is going to be coming in, and now my hunters are also coming in as well. So I go ahead and get that Desi drop. I noticed that my supply dipped over the correct amounts. So I'm just trying to kill units now. I lost my base. I want to try and reestablish this position if possible. So we're still not in the greatest spots, but I'm going to go ahead and retreat with my army. I don't really have like sustainable heals at the moment. So I go ahead and grab the second base. Wow, another big yawn. Wow, look at that. I was very close to doing a Vortis drop there, but I decided to not do that. So I see that he's over here at the top. I have to get vision for my Banshees, and I'm making an additional hunter. And then this is when I notice, like, oh, everything is bunched up together. So let's get the Desi out. Let's get the Y move off. And because of that, we were able to kill so much. Not only did we kill a lot, we weakened so much. So now we have the air coming in. He doesn't have any anti-air. I have elite rangers as well to help deal with all these mines that are here. And so now he's trying to call in reinforcements, which is fine, but I'm just in a very good spot. I'm killing a lot of units. My army comp is very even. It's very diverse. And so I'm starting to retreat back to my base because remember, I'm still trying to establish the second base in general. And so I'm just falling back a little bit to continue this pressure as much as possible. And I'm calling in a cleansing because once again, he has way too many engineers. So cleansing beam comes down and I just focus down on all the engineers and trying to get additional rates. So got very good value with that engineer. Trying to get my Vortis out of this situation over here at the bottom. Finally upgrading my base. But if you look at my pop, it's still staying incredibly high. And this is important I was very efficient in 3 of these fights so far, just being on one base, and now I'm trying to do counterattack. I feel like I have an opportunity to go ahead and do so. I have some Banshees to help with building damage, have some Hunters to deal with Reavers if they show up, and Elite Rangers would deal with any of the grunt stuff that shows up as well. So getting my other leader out with Hammer Stun so I can have just more tankiness into my army as well. So we got mines coming down, but I do have vision with my Elite Ranger. We're going to get him up on the high ground, keep focusing on that economy. And here, I thought there wasn't a shield generator, but turns out there was. But I still decided to go with the push because I felt like I had an army to go ahead and do so. And so you only see 2 engineers here, and that's a good sign, right? There's not much here that's really terrifying for me. So I'm starting to pre-spread my army as much as possible. I don't know why I'm going back to my buildings to make stuff when in reality all I have to do is use my hot groups. But my leader, why move that baby, kill a couple engineers, go with the pre-spread, use my Banshees to try and target engineers eventually. I don't know when this happens, because that is a problem. So I'm still working on my economy, but I think the key part here is just Light Blue lost too much. Now I have Biomass Siphon, so this is going to be an even greater problem for him. And I got my 2 leaders out. They're just going to go ahead and just do a lot of work. So now I might grow my Banshees, go ahead and try and kill some units. And I still need to go ahead and take out the turrets, and that's what I'm working on. So I've completely won my lane now. Things are looking very good. Army comp's very diverse. Cleansing is going down. And look at this. The split was just so good. I didn't lose anything to a level 2 cleansing team. That's amazing in my book. So stripping down his main base. Blue is starting to try and reinforce. It's not really looking good for him, but he's trying. More mines are coming down, and there's a devastating host going down. So my Vortex is going down to try and deal with all these new units that are popping up. High veterancy, trying to dish out as much damage as we can. Pumping out more Hunters because I know I need it. And great Y move by my Decimus. We literally stunned like practically the whole army. And now we're going to go ahead and all units move them up to clear everything else out. We're going to keep pumping up Banshees. We finally got that pop upgrade. We popped the Y move to help clear out more enemies. And now you just have Dark Blue and Light Blue trying to streamline reinforcements to protect his main base. But it's just not going to happen. My Banshees and Hunters are clearing everything on the ground, and they don't have enough Reavers to go ahead and deal with what they got. So I was trying to target the units that was coming in, but it just didn't get Plasma Torpedo on time. And so things are just looking incredibly well. Like, this game looks like it's coming to an end very soon, and still producing units through the hot groups. Still got a pretty strong economy. Everything's being upgraded. Finally got my 4th gen. And if you look at the mini map, red and yellow are just really taking advantage of the opening that I was able to create for my team, which was awesome. Mind you, remember this came from a 1 base play. I was behind in economy for a good amount of the game. Another great Y move to help clear out more Elite Rangers. My hero's doing great. And now I'm just trying to scrap off the buildings as much as possible. Got a 2nd air pad to make more Banshees. And the supplies are running relatively low right now, so now I gotta just be as efficient with my army as possible because my power game is looking great. But that's all that's looking great. So moving my Banshees a little bit more forward to deal with the engineers that are happening there. I'm getting Siphon up. Not sure if I'll use Siphon, so I guess I am gonna use Siphon on the Banshees and on my hero. So all that stuff is going down. Now I'm using them to continue to strip the base. Like, that's what needs to get done. Get that 3rd upgrade. Keep producing Banshees. Keep upgrading my main hero. But this game really is just coming to a close. Like, there's not much left. Because Dark Blue's base also got taken care of on that side. And now Red's starting to peek up on Light Blue's base, and he just lost his 2nd base over there, and now he's self-destructed here. So great game all around. I was on one base. I decided not to overcommit. I made the perfect army composition, took the perfect engagements, and I was able to capitalize off a counterattack after recognizing that, hey, I wiped this army out really well. He was trying to get more wraiths like blue, but it was just a little bit too late. So Vortex is going down on the colony so they can go ahead and try and kill him. And I'm gonna go after his main base. So I think this game, a good lesson to learn is like when you're behind, just don't overcommit, play patient. Every time you lose your army, your full army, like that's bad. And so trying to take the right engagement. And because I was able to hold off my lane very well, red and yellow were able to complement each other to go ahead and finish things off accordingly. So still trying to figure out how this translates over to 1 versus 1, right? Because it's so much easier just handling a lane in 3 versus 3 compared to the whole game in 1 versus 1. Thought the game was going to crash here, but thank God it didn't. So still got lots to learn, lots to figure out, but regardless, I'm pretty happy about this game. This was another like good clutch game that I ended up performing here, and hopefully there's many more to come. Hopefully you enjoyed this commentation video. I know it kind of felt a little bit off, so I don't know if it's tiredness or what, but anyways, while we watch this Jerome get slaughtered over here, let's go ahead and get ready for the stat screen to see what we see. Remember, I did go against a Yap Yap, so that just means that I should be a lot more efficient than Yap Yap, because right, there's cannon fodder and stuff like that. So there's still one more base. Okay, there we go. If you want to see a 1v1 commentary, let me know. I'm not brave enough yet to go ahead and commentate a 1v1, especially a long 1v1. My last 1v1 lasted 28 minutes. That's the one I released last week, so we'll see. We'll see. That being said, let's go ahead and check out these stats very quick. Alright, so I went 36 for 197, and my economy was able to catch up to my opponents, which was really nice. And just that efficiency game in general, 36 for 197, Yap Yap made over 200 units. Like, this is the stuff that you want to see. So anyways, hope you enjoyed it. Have a good one. Have a splendid one. Until next time, enjoy the rest of your day. G out.